Back on the lovely campus of IMG Academy in Sarasota, Florida, this is Cavs Training Camp Nightly. Hi everyone, welcome back. John, Serena, and Tim. Day one of Camp Atkinson is in the books. Typically, guys, that's a day where the players just get their blood pumping, a little bit of X's and O's, but Serena, it certainly was entertaining.
It was, and I mean, a lot of this was focused on the defense, which is interesting because he really wants to lean into the defensive identity that he really had the past couple of years, doubling down on that. A lot of the film was on the defensive end, defensive transition, and then on the offensive end, John, obviously some tweaks there. So offensive rebounding, pushing the pace, starting in transition, but from what we saw, it was less about specific plays and more about concepts.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, guys. The old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The defense was one of the best in the NBA the past couple of years, so there's not going to be a lot of tweaking with that. But Serena, to your point, offensively, new concepts, new system, a lot more motion, and this is a process. It's a building block type of thing.
More schemes here in day two as Kenny Atkinson looks to put his imprint upon this team. Back in 2016, Kenny took over a Brooklyn team in a deep rebuild and led them back into the playoffs. Has a vast amount of experience, was an assistant for a number of different teams. Just won a title a couple of seasons ago with Golden State. Of course, he represented Team France as an assistant coach in what was a wild, terrific Olympic tournament. Now he's back here with this Cavalier team, and finally he gets his chance to get his hands around this team a little bit.
He does, and look, it's been a few years since he's been a head coach, but what he said too is that experience was really humbling for him because after that he said, look, where else can I get experience? Where else can I learn from? And so he was able to learn from assistant coaches, or being an assistant under Ty Lue and being an assistant under Steve Kerr. On top of that, learning different superstars, how to manage those personalities, and took so much away from that experience. And look, just what you hear about him is just that he is a player's coach, so passionate, intense, and has a ton of attention to detail.
Well, Serena, I love the fact that he's been itching to get back in the head coaching chair, having learned from a Ty Lue, having learned from a Steve Kerr. So to your point, it humbled him a little bit, but he had success. And so now he walks into a situation where they've got championship caliber players on this team. So, and he's very familiar with Jared Allen and Karis LeVert, who he coached in Brooklyn. So it's going to be an exciting time.
Talked about being a player's coach, too. He's not afraid to get out there and get active.
I just saw him setting picks.
Yeah, he's been in there rebounding and everything else. So, hey, we have a packed show. Kenny's going to lead us off. He'll be in the next segment. Darius Garland will be joining us as well. Going to be a fun day. We'll be back right after this. Welcome you back to Cavs Training Camp Nightly, where we are joined, yes, by the new head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers. It is Kenny Atkinson. Kenny, thank you so much for joining us. I'd imagine that after a whirlwind summer, it's nice to finally get in here and get into a little bit of a routine.
I'm so happy I'm back in a routine, and then, haven't been in the head coach seat for a while, so that's a little bit an adjustment, right? You're an assistant for last 4 years, so in that support role, and now you're moving that seat up. It's a little different, but I'm really enjoying it. Really enjoying meshing with the staff,
right?
Because that's the first thing. You got to get your staff kind of together and on the same page, and then obviously getting to know a new group of players.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about that. You said that continuity is a coach's dream.
Yeah.
So you get a team that's played together, they know each other's game, yet you come in here, you want to put your imprint, your stamp upon this club. But where do you start, Kenny, when you come in here on day one?
Incrementally.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep saying this, this is not an overhaul. This is not, we're coming in to, we're actually keeping a lot of things the same. Looking for little gains, little areas where we can win on the margin. And then obviously player improvement is a big one, right? Just getting everybody, to take the next step, and team will take the next step. Last thing is tactically, kind of putting players in the best position to succeed.
Kenny, we see you out here on the court, and a lot of the guys that you already talk about you as very intense.
Yeah.
Are you this intense in your regular life? Is it just basketball, or what's Kenny like at home? Are you this way?
So I think we had the year we won the championship in Golden State. We had a meet, one of those pre-playoff meetings, and it was like a 2-hour meeting. and I cannot sit down. I just walk the whole time. So Steve Kerr goes to me, goes, hey, check your phone. I want to see how far you walk.
Steps, right?
And
I can't remember. I got to text him, but I swear it was like 6 miles. It was insane. It's just I think better like on the move. I think when I'm moving, it's just right. You got to be yourself. And then today, right, we have the pre-practice individuals. I always try to grab. Most coaches are kind of overseers. I want to get out there. I want to be a part of the drills. And that was one of the things I promised Kobe. Like, if I'm going to do this, like I'm going to be on the court. I'm not going to be sitting. I'm not a sit in the office type guy. So I really enjoy that part of it. So, and I get to choose as a head coach, right? if I can work with someone or not.
Hey,
so it's
nerd
great.
out with me a little bit here
Yeah.
because training camp day 2, you've got practice here 12 to 2, and then you have film sessions at night. With how much you can actually disclose, what is your philosophy behind, like, what are you actually looking at in these film sessions? You talk about winning on the margins.
Yeah, so I think the first part of it, we have a kind of a strategic build on how we want to teach things and install things. So it's just starting with the basics, and then building from there. And then secretly, I'll let this out. We have some fun. We had trivia night last night.
Oh,
Really?
nice.
Who
Who
was
won?
Star?
It was Cavs trivia,
Uh-huh.
NBA trivia, old Cavs trivia. So it was a blast. I think there were 16 questions. Our video department put it together. We had so much fun. We had so many laughs. I'm not going to tell you who won because guys are going to get mad at me,
I'm going to ask around.
But we had like the older group, the young guys, like they all grouped at a table. Man, we had so much fun with that. And
Kenny, as Serena said, 2 days in, several more to go.
yeah.
What will be your definition of a successful camp? When you head back north, if you say this was a successful camp, why will that be?
Number one, healthy. Like, let's face it, like, I know last season a couple guys came out banged up. So there's a strategic plan with that. And these guys, they want to go hard all the time. It's just like part of my job was pulling them back. Like, even today, they're like, let's go one more. They always want to go one more game, especially the team that lost.
Right.
So, and that's where we're like, no, we're good for today. So that's really important. I would say building on that defensive identity, I'd say 70% of training camp's been defense, so we want to double down on that. And then, adding those tweaks to the offense. And again, slowly, just slow adds, trickle in the offensive stuff. If we do that, we'll be thrilled.
Kenny, you've been known for years now in the NBA about your ability to develop players. We've heard that a lot over the last couple of weeks. When you have players like Darius Garland and Evan Mobley still relatively very young in their careers, how does that take place out there on the floor?
Yeah. First of all, it starts with our integrated approach to holistic approach to getting players better. So it's all you see the pre-practice stuff we're doing. These guys are getting in there early before practice starts. Weight room, training room, correctives, right? All that stuff to get their body right. Then they get their on-court work. So there's a process, there's a method to getting a player better, and then strategically, again, putting them in the right position. And the last part of this, and I've been around some great coaches that have a real gift for this, is like embracing them and giving them the confidence, right? Like, you got to give a young player, because there's still as great as these guys are, there's still doubt, right? And does a coach trust me? So. I have really learned that from the coaches I've been with. Like, man, you really gotta embrace, even through the mistakes, right? Like you're loving them up, like love them. You gotta push them, but call it like a loving push, right? Like, it's kind of that kind of mentality.
And the confidence piece, we heard that, Serena, from Donovan. He said, I'm getting texts at all hours from our new coach telling me, how good we are and to remember how good we are coming into this season.
He even said, too, Donovan, he commended you for, I guess, waking up at 4 a.m. and making sure that you were texting him on his time
Very
zone
considerate.
midday. Very considerate. Back to that player development piece, though, I talked with you the other day and you had mentioned just pure point guard for Darius Garland, right?
Yeah.
Like, some people think he's a scorer, but in your mind, as much as he can score, it's pure point guard first. Is there a shift with that this year?
It's really hard with him because he's almost been 50, 40, 90, right? He's gotten close to that, so he can score the heck out of the ball. So, but in my mind, he can do it all. He can score. He can pass. Like I say, pass with both hands. His IQ is off the charts. But Darius, like sometimes with his talent, he just feels like, hey man, I can get a bucket, right? Like I just break someone down. So we're gonna find that balance, right? I don't think you make him all of a sudden into John Stockton, right? I'm not saying that, but trying to get that balance where he's the complete point guard. And listen, he's darn close already. It's like, man, it's that little push. Can we get him? Get him to that where he's a complete point guard.
So J. Mike and Serena referenced Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
He sat right in that chair yesterday, and I asked him what sort of connection he had with you. He brought up a pre-draft workout when he was looking to go into the draft, and you and the staff from Brooklyn went up to see him. He didn't have fond memories of that pre-draft workout, Kenny. Now, what are your memories of that?
My memories are like, we want this guy. We have no chance of getting him because I'm not sure if that year we had like no picks or whatever, or we had picks late in the first round. And we knew going up there we had no chance of getting him. So we had watched so much tape. I didn't really care about the workout. Now I was happy to visit Greenwich, Connecticut, and Greenwich Country Day, where his mom taught. Like, they're like kind of legends up in Connecticut, up in Greenwich. But yeah, he always talks about, I didn't make a shot. That's what a competitor is. Like, it's funny. Like a great player like that, the thing they remember is like the negative. Like it's crazy. It's kind of like a
he thought he wasn't going to Brooklyn
that
for
was his
another
quote.
reason,
That
that he
was his
didn't have a good workout.
No.
Said, I guess we're not going to the
Sure
Nets.
enough, he was picked a lot earlier. We had no chance.
Hey, Kenny, great to visit with you. Great to
Great.
have you aboard.
Love it.
Really
Yep.
excited about this season.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to the journey. We're all on the journey together, right? On the plane, so it should be a fun year.
No, we certainly appreciate it. Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, well, from one point guard, the former Richmond Spider, to another, the Vanderbilt Commodore, Darius Garland is straight ahead. We are back on the campus of IMG Academy, and we are joined by this man, starting point guard Darius Garland. Darius, can you believe that you are now the most tenured Cavalier on this roster? At the age of 24, most tenured Cavalier.
It's crazy to
It
hear.
is.
Somebody called me like a godfather, a grandfather the other day at media day. I was like, man, please don't call me that again. But 24 and being the oldest, I mean, it's cool, I guess, but I feel like I'm the uncle or something.
Uncle Darius.
Yeah.
So your season comes to an end in mid-May in the second round. Take us through what the life of Darius Garland is like to get you from mid-May to this camp in terms of getting ready mentally and also physically for the season.
Well, this summer was actually kind of different for me. I had a lot of games off last year, so I just went right to work in the summertime. Was in the weight room a lot more. Got into the gym really immediately after the season, so I've been working since like mid-May, June. So just been getting ready for camp, and that's what we're here for.
One of the things you told me the other day, Darius, was like, you just got to be you, be free, play freely, be happy. How much do you feel that your personality, your tone, and setting that is really just the heartbeat of this team in a way?
They tell me a lot that it is the heartbeat of the team.
Is there pressure with that?
Yeah. I mean, it's pressure in that because I have to come in every day with a smile on my face and just that great attitude that everybody likes. So, I mean, it's cool being the heart and soul of the team, just bringing that smile and bringing that pressure to everybody. So, I like it.
Early impressions of sitting here, training camp, Kenny Atkinson in here, day 2. How is training camp going?
It's going well. I mean, shout out to IMG for this beautiful campus. It's super cool being here. But yeah, everything's going pretty well. Just getting a feel for all the guys, getting a feel for Kenny, being the first coach here. And I mean, it's cool just having the guys all around, just being back together, and especially with the same group we had last year. So it's super cool being here.
DG, earlier today I was talking with Mark Price, Cavalier legend, point guard, and he was telling me how special it was to play for a former point guard in Lenny Wilkens. How excited are you to play for a former point guard in Kenny Atkinson? That same mindset.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Kenny, he's trying to build this relationship, so I'm super cool with it. I'm happy he's here as a point guard as well. He's been on me this entire week, just being aggressive, making the right reads, and just playing my game. So I'm happy that he's here, actually. It's super cool to have a former point guard, like you said, just coaching me. So see the same reads. He feels his game the same way I feel it, so it's super cool.
Did you go back and watch his Richmond Spiders tape when he was the point guard there?
Not yet. Not yet.
Kenny's actually said that he was most excited to coach you for a big reason, obviously, as a point guard. Do you anticipate your role that is going to change at all coming into the season, and if so, how?
I don't think so.
No?
Kenny just wants me to be me. He wants me to be aggressive. He's been emphasizing more threes. So I'm going to definitely get him some more threes up this year for everybody and just shoot it with confidence.
Talking to Kenny, who just stopped by here, I was asking about the film sessions last night. The first thing he brings up is apparently it was trivia night. Yeah. What was going on last night? Give us a little behind the scenes action of what's been going on here.
We had Cavs trivia last night, so we had like Cavs history, had basketball history, and my team came in second.
Okay.
So we
Who
had
was
a
the
couple of
MVP?
cheaters.
Kenny didn't reveal that stuff, so yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
But that's why
we
we're
can cut
asking.
that then.
No, that's why we're asking. That's what we want to know. Who won?
Yeah, the MVP, I guess the MVP was Isaac. His team won. I don't know how, but yeah, I guess they cheated and they won.
Okay.
So I'm
All right,
snitching on
day
Isaac.
2, we're already snitching. We got
Yeah,
cheaters
I'm
in the
snitching
building.
on Isaac already. So if he comes
Isaac's
in,
out there, yeah, right.
tell him I snitched on him.
Speaking of Isaac, he wasn't snitching the other day, but he was telling me about his Pilates workouts and all of that. And he said that a few guys in here could have used some Pilates in the summertime.
I don't know who he's talking about. Probably the old head. Probably Uncle Tristan.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
DG, when you look back to last year, and of course it was a challenging year for you, but this Cavs team took the next step to get to the Eastern Conference semifinals. So what's the goal now? What's the objective?
Make another step. Hopefully conference finals, hopefully the finals. Championship is always a goal for us. And then just keep getting better as a team. 1% better is our little motto right now, just getting better every day. And we're just going to keep priding on that and just keep wearing and tearing on it.
You talk about taking that next step. Where are the areas, Darius, in your mind that if we can get a little bit better here, get some inches right there, it will take this club to the next level?
Just be connected on all cylinders. All 15 of our guys communicating a little bit better on the floor and off the floor. Just trying to discuss things that we should really work on. And just keep playing our brand of basketball. Don't shy away from all the things that have been working for us and just keep using it and wearing it.
You're heading into your 4th year alongside Evan. And Kenny was talking to us about just wanting to have him be even more of a playmaker, and we're seeing it out there in training camp already. With you and that being your game, how can he help open up the offense for others, and what do you think his skill set is there?
Man, Evan, I've been saying that since he came in. He's really a unicorn. A 7-foot guy that can handle the ball and pass and just play mates how he does. It really helps everybody on the team. Just having a 4-man that can just rebound and bring it himself and just go into an action. It just opens up the floor for everybody, and then just him making his right reads and making plays for himself and others.
How did he do in trivia night, by the way?
It's an excellent question. Representing the younger guys,
Yeah,
how did they do?
They didn't do too hot. They didn't do too hot. Yeah, I think they were like last or close to last. So, yeah.
So what's the one question that you got right that everybody went, wow, how did he know that?
Who was the 2 Cavs that had more than 8 threes in a game last year? Trivia day. Yeah, trivia training camp. Let's see.
2 Cavs that had more than 8 threes?
In a
I'll
game
start.
last year.
Sam Merrill.
Okay.
Oh, Sam. Did George
George
go off one night?
George had a big night.
Wasn't the answer.
No.
You're 50% right now.
Okay, DG, we only have so long on this show. The suspense is killing me.
The viewers are waiting. You're looking at him. Come on, man.
You had 9?
You're looking at him. Come on.
9?
Yeah.
Against 2?
Phoenix.
All right.
Phoenix.
DG for 3.
See that? You would have been on Mobley's team.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Hey, it's always good catching up. Have a fantastic year.
Appreciate it.
All right, our thanks to Darius Garland. We'll be back to wrap things up right after this. We are back here on the Rock Entertainment Sports Network to wrap things up. That was a fun day. Darius Garland, Kenny Atkinson, Cavs trivia.
Cavs trivia night. I mean, who would have known that would have been the hit of the show? On top of that, they didn't get to see it, but we got to watch scrimmaging out here, and the guys were getting into it. George Niang already loud as could be.
Mid-season form.
Love it.
For George. Hey, if you like the big man, tomorrow is your day as the Cavs 7-footers will be joining us. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. Always fun to talk to that duo. Hey, thanks so much for joining us in Cavs Training Camp Nightly. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same time, same place.